You ready? All right, guys, so we're going to get started because we want to value everybody's time, and we are so glad that everyone is here. We are working on the yellow personality. So let's do a recap for everyone. We have done red and blue. So blue, what do y'all remember from blue?
Fun.
Fun. Yeah. What else?
Party.
Party. Anybody else? You remember anything, Robin?
Center of attention.
That's good. Yes.
FOMO.
Yeah. FOMO. Yes, we had. I was hoping Tracette would be on. Tracette and I did an event, and we took Stephen with us to help us, and he is true blue. He is so FOMO. It is just, I'm telling you, Tracette and I would be sitting there and we would be talking to each other, and he'd go, "What are y'all saying about me? Are y'all talking about me? What are y'all laughing at?" And me and Tracette would look at each other. We go, "FOMO, FOMO." He needed a shirt that said FOMO because he is so blue. And we just laughed at him. Y'all have to ask Tracette about that because she was just giggling. So, yeah, they have that fear of missing out. So, yeah, that is the blue personality. All right, how about red personality? I'll let somebody else answer that because I am red.
Money. Money.
I was going to say driven.
Driven. What else?
The ones on the
No,
microphone, they take charge.
Take charge. Yep.
In front of the room.
Front of the room. Yep. And we're talking about the yellow. Remember, we talked a little bit about each of the colors. But what is yellow's word?
Help.
Help.
Help. Yeah.
Helper. Yeah. Encourager.
Encourager. So if we went into the room and there was a group of people sitting in one end of the table and there was one person sitting at the end of the table by themselves, where would yellow go?
To the person by themselves. If they weren't already the person by themselves.
Yes. Where would the blue personality go?
With the most people.
Where would the red personality go?
In front of the room.
Head of the table.
Yep. And then where would the green personality person go?
They wouldn't be there.
They wouldn't be there. That's right. Green personality is not going to be there because it's way out of their comfort zone. And they just really don't like a lot of socialization. Tracette, so glad you could join us. Hello.
Hey, Tracette.
Can she hear us? Well, she can hear us. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is while Tracette's getting hers going, I had asked Betsy and Tracette to give us some overview tonight. These are our guest speakers tonight. So I'm going to let Betsy, since she's there and working on the other. So go ahead, Betsy. Give us your insight.
Okay.
Hello.
Yellow. My primary color, obviously, had a little bit of green and blue in there too, which doesn't really surprise me, especially with the green having being more of an introvert than the others. But yellow personality, you sit here and you look at this list that they put on there and you're like, yep. Some of the strengths of the yellow personality, I think sometimes are also some of the weaknesses. And I think that's kind of the case with everybody. But, when you, excuse me, I'm being distracted. Put that light back on, please. Thank you. You would think that was my child. That was my husband. Putting yourself last. I mean, it's always, we always hear to put others first. And that's true. I live by that standard of, you put God first, you put others before yourself. But we have a tendency to kind of then not do anything for ourselves. And that leads to a lot of not good things. We have to take care of ourselves. And so when you're looking, I think when you're talking to people with more of a yellow personality, you'll kind of notice that in them. And you need to encourage them, because as much as the yellow personality encourages others, again, we put ourselves last. And so we don't speak positively to ourselves often. We don't encourage ourselves to do better or to motivate or to do well. So when you're, whether you're prospecting somebody with a yellow personality or you have someone on your team with a yellow personality, you need to make sure that that person is receiving encouragement as well, because they're going to tend to not do that for themselves, and they're going to tend to also not seek help when they need it. That's one of my big weaknesses, because again, I'm putting my needs last, and I would rather help you. I would rather do something for you than to say, hey, you know what, I need something from you. I need some help, or even if it's just to, I need to talk to you. I need to let something out. It's not, it doesn't have to be a big thing. But we do tend to not ask for help. And I think there's a lot of people with this personality trait, especially down here in the South, where everyone is so welcoming and accommodating. We tend to just put ourselves to the side. It doesn't help. It doesn't help us in health if we're always putting ourselves last. It doesn't help us in relationships if we're just doing for others all the time and never take time out. I hear a phrase a lot that says, you can't pour from an empty cup. So yellow personality will tend to just dump that cup out, and it'll sit empty. And then we're wiped out and exhausted and can't figure out why we're, depressed and have anxiety and that kind of thing. So we have to remember, when we're dealing with people with this yellow personality, we have to help fill them up, even if it's to say, you need to take a break. You need to take 24 hours and go recharge. And I think that a little bit of that green personality seeps in there too with that introvert. I'm a natural introvert, and so I have to make that push. Michaela says I'm an ambivert because I can do both, but I said when I'm an extrovert, I'm really trying really hard because we do tend to do that. Yeah, you do have to come out of your comfort zone and get out there and talk to people. And, it's just a matter of, something that I've noticed for myself that has helped a lot, which is just to pick my head up when I'm out walking. I don't notice that I put my head down so much until I pick my head up. And all of a sudden there's people smiling at me and saying hello. And I'm going, why are all these people talking to me all of a sudden? And it's just like, people are trying to be friendly. I just never look at them. So that's a big thing. Yes. And then when you do that, you notice there's other people that are walking around that have got their head down like this, like, I'm looking at my grocery list, I'm so concentrated on my grocery list. So, that's another way that you can help people on your team or people that you're prospecting. You'll see people posting on Facebook all the time about, I'm helping this person and I'm doing this and I'm volunteering and doing this. Those are often the people that they're also not the ones who are going to say, I'm exhausted, I need a break, I need this. They're just going to keep talking about how they help other people. And those are people you can watch, though, that are not going to take care of themselves. And so that's something you can really do, is to encourage those people in your life. Not just in business, but it is business we're talking about on the training calls. But, people in your life who have that personality, they're going to tend to drain themselves and to empty themselves without filling back up. And so that's a big thing.
So
and encouragement too.
So how, you being yellow, how could take the red and let's just take red personality. So how could, because you know what, we're not going to change our personality. Our personality colors who we are. But just like you're talking about pouring into, how could, say, a red or a blue, take a red personality and a blue, how could they help a yellow personality, make them kind of look at it different, say, okay, if they're red, how could that red personality help a yellow?
Well, I think that red and yellow personalities get along really well. In my looking at the different, the differences in them are there, but the reds tend to, because they come in and they take charge, they can kind of grab that yellow person
Mhm.
and not in a way, I was just discussing earlier today, somebody, the difference between a leader and a boss. And it's not in a way of a boss that's like, I'm the boss, you're going to do what I say, or I'm not going to pay you, or, you're not going to get a raise or whatever, where you don't really want to follow that person. A red personality is a leader, and a leader is somebody that people want to follow. And so a yellow person who doesn't necessarily want to lead, but doesn't want to be left out either, when that red comes in and says, hey, come on, we're going to do this, the yellow's like, okay, I'll just, I'll come with you. You sound nice. You hold my hand. And because that person is motivated, they're driven, and we're like, we're attracted to that, even though that might not be us. That's the kind of person we want to hang out with. The organization, which I have some of that too, but the organization, it makes us happy. We're like, oh, this is so wonderful, whether it's aesthetically pleasing or just they've got every duck in a row. We really like that about a red personality person. A blue personality person is a little scary, honestly, to a yellow. They're a little loud and they're boisterous and a little scary. My mother-in-law is a blue personality. You know her. You know that this is true about her. She is the life of the party. She wants to go here, there. Let's go talk to them. Let's go hang out at this person's house. I'm having all these people over that you don't know, but I want you to hang out with. Is a little scary, but it's also good for yellow to be included in those kind of things. And so for a blue person to relate, invite us along. Make us be a part, step out of the comfort zone, but, not real forcibly. Just, the blue and the red can kind of mix there too. Take that leadership from the red and say, I want you to step out of your comfort zone and I'm going to lead you out. I'm not going to drag you out. Yeah. I'm going to lead you out,
Blues don't want to lead. They just want
I know. Yeah.
They just like, come on over here, and they don't understand why the yellows want to sit over there with the other person.
No, they don't understand the quiet that the yellows enjoy as much. But we do like blues too, because we like to, I am a people watcher, and I like to watch people have fun, even if I'm not participating, so I'm like, you go over there and have a good time, and I will sit here and have a good time watching you. So, but we do need that social interaction from them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be dancing. You go, I'll just watch you.
You can have such a good time over there.
I'll see you. You just go dance.
Sit here with my umbrella drink.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back to you. Let's see. Trissette, did she hear me? Those are some good insights. See, that's what we need, is to know how, how yellows feel. And I think that's, I tell you, for me, this whole personality, I told Sammy the other day, I said, gosh, I've had this book for a year and a half. This was the first time that I even opened the book to even read it. And I had to laugh because I met with Jackie, and I said this last week. When I met with her, she was like, you are so red. And I'm like, okay, so what's that meaning? I was running late, and I called her, and I'm like, Jackie, I'm in traffic. I'm on my way. I'll be there in a minute. Okay? And she was, okay. And so that's just so red. And I said, well, what would you have done? She said, well, I called and said, hey, how are you? Yeah, well, I'm just, I'm driving down the road, and there's a little bit of traffic, and, I'm on my way. She would have went and had this long, drawn-out conversation. And me being red for either yellow or blue, we are direct and to the point. And so having to learn, when you're working with people and you're red and you need to work with yellow and blue, you've got to go, okay, they want to talk for 30 or 40 minutes. You just want to take 15 minutes and, okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's get it done because I got to go to my next thing.
A big thing with yellows, too, is that we don't like small chat. We don't like small talk. We want to talk about the weather. We want to talk about politics. If we're going to have a conversation, we like it to be a conversation about real things.
Right. But in that instant, me talking about red, yellows and blue need to learn that reds are direct, so you kind of gotta adjust a little bit.
Yeah.
So we all have got to adjust a little bit to that. Trissette, you ready to share your insights?
Yes, can you guys see and hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. I don't know what happened to my video, sorry.
We can see you too.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. All right, my kids, 2 of them aren't in bed, so they're out here with me, so I apologize for that in advance. But I'll go ahead and start pretty much we speak your prospects. If you're speaking their language, your message goes to them, it goes to their hearts, and it goes to their minds. And the key word, I know we've said it, several times for yellow, is going to be help. And with the yellow personality, I am a yellow personality, so they aren't too much concerned about, the compensation plan and how much money that you can make from the products. They're more concerned about how your products are able to help everyone. Yellows, I know Sammy is a yellow, and this immediately made me think of her. I was reading in the book, and it said that yellows tend to help their downlines a lot, and they want to solve problems. And I feel like Sammy's an excellent problem solver, so I definitely, see why she's the yellow personality. Their people can normally talk to them a lot better than they can maybe say a red personality. It's just that yellow personalities are more warmer and they're great listeners. Let's see, I'm going to look at my notes for a little bit. Rarely are they in front of a room giving orders. They're the ones that are, in the back of the room or to the side, trying to, help the leader to get everything to going. They don't want to be so much the center of attention. And some of the characters that you can think of when you think of yellow personalities are like Charlie Brown, Cinderella. I really like Cinderella because I know she liked to help out around the house and stuff. So I look at myself as a Cinderella every day. And some professionals that have the yellow personality, they are, like I said, helpers, and they tend to hug a lot too. So some people maybe like nurses, social workers, massage therapists, kindergarten teachers, caregivers, counselors. Hey, you guys, don't be loud. Everybody can hear you. Okay. Sorry, everybody. And I also have that yellows that forcing their opinions on people. They prefer for someone else to make the decision and they'll support it. And I myself can attest to that because sometimes instead of me just going out and making a decision, I'll say, well, what do you think? It's almost like we're, trying to just please everybody. Like instead of me, thinking of all the reasons, why I can just, say no, I won't say no. Instead, I'll try to, come up with the way to say yes, because yellows are people pleasers. And another thing I jotted down was when talking with yellow personalities about plexus, try to focus on, stating that we can help others health-wise and how we can, help them to feel better, how the plexus business helps stay-at-home moms. It even helps grandmothers, for instance, like Susan, to have more energy to do adventurous things with their grandchildren. Another thing that you can focus on when you're talking about when you're talking about plexus with yellows is how the plexus business opportunity helps people to work from home and have more family time. And you can also say that, we are, I guess, when you're trying to get people to come out to the meetings, and if they're a yellow personality, you can say that we're having an opportunity meeting and always say, we need your help. As long as you keep throwing in the key word help and, making them feel like, it depends on them, like you need them. They like to feel needed and wanted. So that's something else that, I found out about the yellow personality. So help, contribute, assist, feel, nurture, comfort, care, and share are all good words to look out for, when you're talking with people to figure out if they are a yellow personality. and once you figure out that they are, like I said, the keyword, help, or you could say, assist, anything to make them feel wanted and needed is really great. I don't think it's that hard to reach out to a yellow personality, whereas it might be for a green personality.
Well, I asked Betsy this too, so I'm going to ask you. In your study and look, how would you want blues and reds to help you, or how would you work with those blues and reds people?
Blues, I think I would identify more so than the reds. And as far as the blues, I know, they like to have fun and stuff. So this, I guess the fun aspect, if you're just including, I guess in maybe the planning process of everything. And then with the red, honestly, I don't think I really know. Maybe if no, Susan, I'm like with connecting with the red, I'm lost on that. I'm gonna just be honest with you. That's why I was, really thrilled about having the event with you, because I was like, I know Susan's red and this is awesome. But I like you were able to, give me advice or give your insight, or you kind of, when certain people were coming by the table, you say, okay, well, you go ahead and take that one. So I think just being maybe, just encouragement, if the red is, being more of an encouraging person, I think that'll help benefit the yellows, if that makes sense.
It does. And that's kind of what Betsy was saying. Be the encourager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Encourage
Mhm.
y'all. And that,
Okay.
yeah, and that's what I was telling Sammy that we did, is that I would take one and then I would step back and go, Tracy, you go talk to them, or
Right.
or I left you, like when I went to the bathroom, you were there by yourself, so you had to talk to the people. But for instance, we got to talk about our bungee cords, don't we?
Oh,
So was that true?
don't leave home without your bungee cords.
But wasn't that true red personality?
Yes, I've not even, the simple
You're breaking
one
up.
else, they had their signs falling down to the ground, and Susan's like, give me my bungee cords, and she bungee cords the signs to the tent. And I was like, I would have never, I probably would have panicked or even, put the signs away because they would have been falling.
But that you said, I don't know how to relate or, learn from a red, but there you did. You would have put the signs
Right.
up, but now being with that red personality, you go, oh, I can fix that next time. You learn something from that.
Right.
So like Betsy said, if the reds and I think they all work together well. You just have to figure out and remember these colors, and how each does.
Right.
Because like you said, yellows need to be encouraged because y'all are always giving. So that's helpful for me, being a red, that, hey, wait a minute, are they pouring everything out and are they pouring, back into their sales? So as a red personality, I can encourage people for their personal growth. Or, hey, did you read that book? Or how's that book coming along, to pour back into yourself, to remind you to take care of yourself first.
Right, because yellows will give you the shirt off of their back.
Yeah. And we all have a little bit, like Betsy, what was the other two colors you said? Green and blue?
Yeah, I have a little bit of green, a little bit of blue with yellow.
Right. So, we have that main personality color, but we all have, a little bit of the others. Yeah, Katie says Katie's got a lot of yellow in her. And you got to think that yellow and green are your introverts, and blue and red are your extroverts.
Yep.
If you think about that. So, in conclusion, how do you think that you can market through your Facebook Betsy, maybe you and Teresa can give us a couple examples. How do you think, being yellow, how could we market on social media to yellow people?
One way to go about it is, just maybe putting up a post about, how you're glad that you're in this business where you're able to help other moms stay at home, or, help parents have an extra income, or even state, that you're able to help people, feel or levels related. Just seeing how awesome Plex is as far as helping others and how that's so rewarding to you. I always pray and ask God to bless me to be a blessing to others. So I try to make sure I add that in, with my post and everything too. Not intentionally to, try to close, but that is a good way, because I am yellow. A red could say in one of their posts to attract other yellows.
Okay. We lost you a little bit. I think we hear you better when you sit up.
Oh, okay. I was just saying that a good way to reach out to other yellows is just to talk about how you're able to help others.
I think we lost you. Yeah, we did, I think. Betsy, what do you think while we're waiting for Trissette?
I think what she was trying to say was good, talking about making posts about how you can help other people, because that is what's going to attract yellow, is helping other people, again, before making money for themselves or anything. And another thing, if that there's somebody, how people watch you, but they don't interact. And those are the yellows. Those are your yellows and your greens. They'll watch you and watch you and watch you and watch you. So those are the kind of people that you might need to take that other extra step and reach out to them personally. A message or a text, or, hey, can we go out for coffee some one-on-one time? Because they're not always going to join into the big, they're not going to always come to the big events right away, especially, to the bigger meetings and that kind of thing. So just a quick message that also, it's a double fold. It's, telling them what you want them to know about the products and the business. It also makes them feel really important and special. Like a yellow and green personality, I think, would still be excited to get a personal letter in the mail. Whereas today, everything is done digitally, and they still appreciate that, just that little extra effort to reach out to them personally.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's true with the blue too. Blues and yellows. You made a mention of sending, personal letter. I think we learned something. Sammy was telling me the other day, she was listening to something about sending just a letter to your customers or old ambassadors, just to say, hey, hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
And I think, as I was looking at my back office, and I don't know about you, Betsy, but I think if we looked in our back office and see all those white lines, we could attribute it that we didn't learn about these personalities, and we didn't quite handle and find out what color they are.
Yeah.
I know I didn't. Now that I'm reading this, so I think that this personality is going to help us move forward and be able to ask those questions. Now,
right.
Betsy, I don't know if you watched her thing, but there's 3 questions. One at 3, Trissette, Sammy. One is, what is your job?
Right?
Why are you still holding your hand?
Because I want to share something.
Oh, well, speak up.
Okay.
I thought you were going, yeah, that's me. I didn't do that.
No, I want to share something. So you mentioned my letters of sending stuff out. Well, I don't know what color she is, because I just didn't get that far. I just decided to take all of my customers who hadn't ordered in a while, send them a letter, and offer them $5 off their next order. Just tell them how much I appreciated them and how I thanked them for supporting my business. And I got a hit back with one today, and she was like, so I can order anything from you and get $10 off? And I was like, yep. And so she's going to be placing an order. So it was just really cool how I saw that. You always send a thank you note to when they join. You always send a thank you note when a new customer comes. And so it was just really cool to see that feedback.
And that's good, because in this world of social media, we just tend to send a voice message or send a text or
Right.
video.
And
I'll be honest.
I
Go
could
ahead.
have easily done that, because she talks to me a lot on Facebook, but I made a point to spin the stamp and send her the card, and so I think maybe that was what it was.
It that you cared for. You know, it's that they don't care about you until they know how much you care about, them. And, we're talking about different personalities. And I think Trissette and Betsy said that, as long as you're using that word help or assist or nurture. But it's really hard. How many use emojis here? Who
A
likes
lot of us, probably all of us.
Yeah, Red personality doesn't like emojis. I'm just going to tell you. So when
Don't send Susan any more emojis.
look, I am adjusting. Okay, because when I learned last week that blue people like emojis, I've been trying to use. I'm like, Angela, how do you find this emoji? Like, where's this error thing? So I'm having to get my 12-year-old to teach me about emojis. So can I have some kudos for learning about emojis, y'all? Come on, Red.
Kudos to you.
Is there anything else y'all would like to share or add that maybe we didn't get out?
I do have a question.
No.
All right, go ahead, Robin.
Okay, so if we
Hold on.
and we see that we have mutual friends in common with somebody, you know how it'll say friend suggestions for you or people you may know?
Right.
When you go through that list and you see that you may have, like, I don't know, say for an example, at least 20 mutual friends. So if you send that person a friend request and if you start, trying to get to know them, what is a good way to actually conversate with them to kind of get the feel of what type of personality they have without being overbearing?
I think I lost you for a minute. The first part of your question was what? If you go through and it says you have 20 mutual friends and you request them, how do you do what?
How do you get to know what type of personality they have without kind of feeling like you're bugging them?
Well, Sammy's got her hands all up in the air. I know you can't see it, so I'm going to let her answer that one.
Okay.
That's not yellow. She wants to help you.
I am. I don't want to interrupt you because that's rude. Okay. So I do this a lot, actually. And the first thing that I do is scope out their profile page for like a month, to be honest. I want to know what they've been doing. I read through if they have a big feed of comments, I read the comments, I look at their pictures, I scope them out. And then the first thing I'll say, and I'll look at their mutual friends, and then I'll message them and say, hey, you look familiar, or I think I've seen you here, or I'll say, do our kids go to school together? You got to find a connecting point with you and that person to kind of open that conversation. Or, hey, I saw we had a lot of mutual friends. How do you know so-and-so? I sent you a friends request. Thought we could be friends too. Or you could say, Facebook suggested you as my friend, and I saw that we had a lot of mutual friends. Have we ever met in person or something like that? Those are ways that I've connected with people that I don't think I've ever really had a conversation with, but may have seen like in passing at a church or something like that. And so that's just kind of how I've done it. And then when you start conversating with me, that's when I can ask those important questions. Oh, well, what do you do? Where do you work? Do you like the job? And then I'll tell them what I do briefly without going into Plexus. I don't really try to hit Plexus the first go round. But that's kind of how I start my conversations with people.
Yeah. And while we're on that, I really would like, how we do our team culture is kind of, the team culture follows your leaders. And so while we're talking about requesting friends, I'd like to do a little ethical real quick if y'all will let me. So as you're, I don't know who that is, but yeah, okay. So as you're looking for those friends, and I'm going to trace that, can I use me and you when I was discussing Lori?
Yes, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. So for instance, Trissette and I have a mutual friend. Her name is Lori. Now, I grew up with Lori's brother, Bert, and Lori and I have been Facebook friends for probably 3 or 4 years. I have briefly talked with her about Plexus, but she never hit it. You know, she never said, hey, send me some or do anything like that. Now, as I was vamping up my Plexus and my customers, I noticed that Trissette and Lori had a very good connection, okay? So let me ask you, should I have overrun Trissette and tried to get Lori as my customer, or do I just be that third-party validation person knowing that their connection was better than ours?
Third-party validation.
Third-party validation.
Yeah.
Right. You know, ethically and morally, we are one Plexus, and we want to be third-party validation. We don't want to, you know, I'm not going to go over there and try to take Lori from her. So, you know, team culture, I would like to instill that so that when you are looking at those suggested friends, the very first thing that I do is I take and look and see who the mutual friends are. You know, if Betsy is friends and Trissette and Sammy and Julie, then I kind of look and see, okay, who's having the conversation and what's going on. So when you're friending those people, make sure that it's, when you're friending them, it could be either third party, but if that other person, say Betsy or Trissette, has a better connection, you are not going to start up a Plexus conversation for them to be your customer. So that's the team culture that I would really like for us to be, is real ethical and real moral when we are friending people and when we're working with others. That's just who I am, and that's who I would like our team to be. Any questions or thoughts on what I just said?
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's so many people that don't even know. Katie, how many people did you get? Katie did an event Saturday, and I have done that event for 4 years, twice a year. And you had, what, 7 or 8 new people who didn't even know about Plexus?
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
7 or 8.
So, guys, I had done that event for 4 years, twice a year, and she still got new people come to her table. So there are so many people who do not know about Plexus out there. And let's just have that one Plexus. I love Plexus philosophy of one Plexus, that we be third party and we help others. So real quick, Robin, what did you take away tonight?
Kind of this is kind of hard to say. Even though I have a little bit of red in me when it comes to certain situations, and I know all of us moms can attest to that, but learning how to not really, even though you have a little bit of the red personality in you, don't take reds entirely too personal.
Right. Yeah.
But also the fact that I have more yellow in me than the other. I mean, because I have a little bit of all of them, but you can't be a superhero to everybody. Even though you want to be, you got to kind of take time out for yourself and be like, hold up, let me recuperate, and then I'll come back.
That's right. And we all need that, no matter what color we are. Thank you for that, Robin. Julie, what did you take away tonight? You there? right, Katie, I'll come back to you, Julie. Katie, what'd you take away tonight? There you are, Julie.
Oh, I, I have, yeah, I'm here. I'm having technical difficulties. I think the rain is messing with me. Some of the video was like broken,
Okay.
so I'm looking forward to watching the playback.
But what did you hear?
Can you hear?
Anything that maybe caught your attention?
I did hear a lot. I really want to learn the personalities so that I can be a better person. Not just a better person, but so that I can communicate with each one on a better level.
Yes.
So I'm learning.
And that's what we all are. Thank you for that. All right, Katie Boo, what did you learn from tonight? What was your takeaway?
I don't even know. It was
You
a lot of validation.
Validation. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Cassette, what did you take away tonight?
My takeaway would definitely be the sending out the cards to people. I know that's something that Sammy did to me when I was very, first interested in the plexus. She sent me a card, and, I still have it to this day. They really mean a lot to me. Never clicked in my head until we just said something about it just now. So that's something I'll start doing, is sending out cards to people.
Oh, that's great. Betsy, what did you take away?
Well, I mean, I just really took away that, I knew I had a little more than one color in me, but that we really all have, a little bit of everything, and that we, like you said, we're not going to change our personalities. It's who we are, and we just really have to learn how each one complements each other. We're not different so that we can argue and disagree on things. We're different so that we can complement each other. And so I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do too. And I think that what I'm learning, and not just tonight, is just how to communicate better with the different colors, and not be that direct person, but to really learn and care, and not that I didn't care, but to care a little differently, if you understand what I'm saying. Just like learning emojis, that's caring a little differently for those blue people. Tammy, what'd you take away?
I am a doggone down to the bone true yellow. It's kind of funny.
Yes.
I mean, I have a strong second red. That's my drive, and that's where money becomes important to me. But I am famous for emptying my cup. If you guys see me disappear for a weekend and you don't see me post much, that's why. Because I will literally unplug for a weekend once every 2 months, because I will pour out, and I do exactly what your set said. I talk to my team all the time. I'm always trying to help them solve their problems, answer their questions. I am that person that will run themselves into the ground on their phone 24/7, and I need to pour into myself a little bit more, but I'm hoping Miracle Morning will do that with me. So
Yes, that's a great book. And I think what Betsy said was about be more of a leader and not a boss. We don't want to be, none of us need to manage our teams. We
right.
just need to be a leader and to be friends, be there for them. And I thought that was a great takeaway, Betsy, about being a leader and not a boss. And that's whether you're in network marketing or whether you're working. All right, guys, I really appreciate your time. As always, let's close it with Julie. How can I pray for you this week?
Oh my. I just got my kit, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to some results, and I know they're coming. I don't know, but
I don't think about myself. I'm always thinking about somebody else.
So we're going to pray for your results this week for you and put you first. Does
Okay.
that sound good?
That will be great.
All right.
That will be great.
All right. See, that's that red personality directed you to where you need to go. Robin, how can we pray for you this week?
Hey, Sammy.
Yeah.
Should I let the team know briefly what's going on so that they'll understand what my prayer needs are?
That's
Or
completely
you
up to
can
you.
say unspoken, however you want to do it.
Okay, well, recently I have found out that I have a couple of specialist appointments that I have coming up. And currently I'm out of work and I probably won't be able to return. So it's forced me into going through the whole disability process.